In just a few hours, a hearing over the National Guard's deployment to Chicago is set to resume. This morning, the judge overseeing the case and who temporarily blocked the deployment earlier this month gave the parties time to figure out the next steps. It's happening as the restraining order keeping troops out of the city expires tomorrow and as the Supreme Court reviews the case. Several protests, some of which have turned contentious, have erupted outside of an ICE facility just outside of Chicago. We're joined now by Illinois State Representative Han Win, who says that he was had a gun pointed at him yesterday by ICE. We do want to show you a part of this moment from the vantage point of Representative Win's friend, who was a passenger in the car at the time and started videotaping afterward. You don't see a gun, but you do hear some of what unfolded.
I'm State Representative Han Win. I'm State Representative Han Win.
These guys are telling us to stop following.
I'm State Representative Han Win.
They're U.S. Customs and Border Patrol.
I'm State Representative Han Win.
There's 3 agents behind us. Why is my window not working?
I'm State Representative Han Win.
Somehow they're able to open my windows. These people are, there's 3 officers in front of us, 3 officers behind us.
I'm State Representative Han Win.
He has
I'm State Representative Han Win.
There's 3 officers behind us.
I'm State Representative Han Win.
Okay, I'm gonna keep following this guy. This other car behind us.
Yeah, they just put a gun.
Yeah, they just had a gun. We're at Montrose and Kimball now, telling us to stop following them. I guess the other car behind me was following me. I didn't realize.
Now, CNN received a statement from the Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, which reads, Representative Win was stopped not once, but twice for stalking law enforcement and attempting to interfere with operations. He was given a warning the first time he was stopped, and he ignored that warning, forcing agents to get out of their car a second time to assess if he was a threat. This behavior is unbecoming of a public servant and is just another example of sanctuary politicians putting our officers at risk. And State Representative Win joins us now here in the studio. I'm going to ask you to respond to that in a second. But first, because this video doesn't show this entire interaction, can you take us through what happened?
And thank you so much, Brianna, for having me here today. We were out yesterday making sure that we talked to our local small businesses about their rights as civilians, right? And we wanted to let them know that they have the right to remain silent, they have the right to an attorney when they're interacting with ICE agents. And that's what we've been doing as part of the Rapid Response Network with the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. So we received a report yesterday that a landscaper was captured by ICE agents in my district, in my neighborhood of Uptown. And so we went to the location to, again, provide assistance and to make sure that folks know their rights. And so at one point we were sandwiched in between 2 ICE cars, one in front of us and one behind us, where an ICE agent went to the passenger side of the car, which I was in, and he pointed a gun directly at my face without any warning whatsoever, and then told us to identify ourselves, of which I then said, I'm an elected official, I'm State Representative Han Win. We are within the rights to do what we have to do to inform our neighbors of their rights. And at that point in time, they wanted to bash in the windows of the car as well.
How did you know they wanted to bash in the windows of the car?
They said literally at that moment that they were like, we're going to bash these windows in.
This is before the recording starts?
This is before the recording starts. That's absolutely right. And so they had a gun pointed to my face on the passenger side before the recording starts. So when my colleague started recording, they then realized that there was a camera to them. And again, these were ICE agents who are wearing masks. You know, their badges aren't very clear, and so they then withdrew the gun away from the car, and then they went away. And so when we again went to make sure that we inform our neighbors of their rights, and again we were passing construction workers, landscapers, they then again stopped us and told us that we could not do that, and that they were gonna again detain us, and of which they did not.
Had you encountered ICE or immigration officials before in your district? I mean, have you been making a practice of checking them out as they are doing apprehensions or reported apprehensions?
So we have been a part of the Rapid Response Network to make sure that we're out there talking to our neighbors about their rights. And when we receive tips of ICE agents in our district, in our neighborhoods, it's our job to make sure that we inform our neighbors of their rights. So I have not seen these ICE agents in my neighborhoods until yesterday when they appeared, and they have been really making sure that they've been expanding their appearance throughout our district.
So this was the first time
This is the
that
first
you
time
encountered
I've
them.
actually encountered 6 ICE agents.
You saw that response from the Department of Homeland Security. Do you take issue with anything they said?
Absolutely. I think what they said is an absolute lie. I think
What part?
If they were being truthful, they should release the body cameras of these ICE agents and what they actually did to me and to my colleague, right? So I think that's the first thing, is we want to see that there's transparency in this process. And I think the other thing is we are within our rights to make sure that we can tell our neighbors about their rights. This is a best practice that's been done in Illinois and in Chicago to make sure that we're out there informing our neighbors of their rights to not speak to them, of their rights to speak to an attorney, of their rights to not sign anything if they do not understand the language or the document of which they're signing. So we were within the laws and within our rights to make sure that we are able to tell our neighbors about their rights.
So you see this as providing assistance.
Yes.
And DHS sees this as you putting their agents in danger, right? You're at an impasse, I think, on how you are viewing this. I do want to ask you, though, because there are many people who feel as you do, that you are providing assistance. And they may want to model what they do after you, right? There are a lot of people doing that. Do you have any concerns about them doing that and it not going? I mean, this is a scary situation, but it not going as well, quite frankly. You identified yourself, and ultimately you were permitted to leave. You're a state representative. With that, I think, may come some privilege. Do you have concerns for people where their interaction with officers may not end that way?
Look, this is not about me. This is what happened to me. And I think what's important when we're telling folks about their rights is that we push out the salute method. And the salute method basically tells civilians that when we are encountering ICE agents in our neighborhoods, we want to make sure that you can pull out a camera to record what they're doing and record what they're doing to our neighbors. And again, these are people that they're picking up off the streets indiscriminately, right? They're picking up working families, working people who are out there trying to earn an honest day work. And so it's racial profiling. You know, they're picking out our neighbors. And so we need to make sure that we are able to record them, record their actions, which is illegal. And we need to also make sure that we provide the safety to all of our neighbors as well.
Can you address that discrepancy that they're saying you're putting agents in danger, where you feel that you are providing assistance to residents?
Yes, and again, this is a best practice that has been done in Illinois with the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights and OCAD, where we're able to train our neighbors about their rights. We're also able to be out there to inform our neighbors when there is ICE presence in our streets, because what they're doing right now is terrorizing the streets of Chicago, terrorizing our neighborhoods, and they're doing it again in a way that is not legal. And so it's our job, and it's my job as an elected official to make sure that we inform our neighbors, that we're able to protect our neighbors as well. And what's happening right now in Chicago is just the beginning. It's a harbinger of what's going to happen across this country when we have ICE agents in cities run by black mayors. So I think we need to be very clear about what's happening. We need to also be very clear about the overreach of these ICE agents and of this current administration as well, and of Secretary Noem. And we know that we are within our rights to protect our neighbors in this manner.
And I know you say this isn't about you, but how does your family's immigration story inform how you are seeing this moment?
I am a refugee from Vietnam. My family and I lived under an authoritarian regime in Vietnam before we were granted political asylum from the United States. And we lived in fear every single day of being picked up by the secret police. And what's happening right now in America is similar to what happened to us in Vietnam. And I'm not going to stand idly by and let this happen to our neighbors. So again, it's my responsibility to make sure we protect all of our neighbors and that we, again, make sure we get the message out about the rights that we all have, and we keep all of us safe.
State Representative Han Nguyen, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.